to this month's FinTech Firebrand. I'm Virginie O'Shea, founder of Firebrand Research, and I'm here to chat to you about this month's FinTech and FinReg news. Now, it's been a busy start to October for ESMA in the EU with its annual work programme being released this month. So certainly a lot of discussion around the priorities or the changing priorities for the European Securities and Markets Authority and how it's setting the tone for changes across the region. One of the biggest focuses for ESMA in the coming year will be around data. So it's a big part of its approach for the ongoing 12 months, and it's looking at hosting its first ever data day. Now that's going to be on the 2nd of December, and they're going to be talking about reducing the burden of reporting and how to make reporting smarter in the era of digitalization. So using a lot of buzzwords, but certainly an interesting dynamic for the regulator. There's a big focus on reducing duplication across different regulations and reducing inconsistencies as well. If you remember, we had some issues with regard to things like transaction reporting early on, between distinctions between MiFID, EMIR, SFTR, for example. There was some disparity because those regulations were drafted in silos at the European level. So I think there's been a big turnaround at the EU level to try and reduce some of the duplicative work that firms do to produce those different reports for each segment of the market. There's a really big focus on how to look at data in a holistic manner. So it'll be interesting to see, particularly on the technology usage by the regulators, how that differs from the industry approach to a lot of this stuff. As you know, there's been a lot of industry investment in data technology over recent years. Started on the sell side. Now we're seeing a lot of buy side firms focusing a lot more on data as well. Lots of strategies around that, and wealth managers as well. So certainly interesting to see if the crossover between all of the different demographics, including regulators. Now, the other priorities for ESMA into the year is just not just data. They're also looking at their supervisory powers at the EU level and how to better enforce those, particularly in certain markets that are particularly risky on a cross-border perspective. So crypto asset markets, as those grow, particularly as tokenization takes off potentially. So there's a real focus on some sort of framework that the ESMA can lean on to improve enforcement across